Yeah, let me add something, but I'll come to it, your question, which by the way, the deal we reached in Washington, D.C. does not stand in isolation. That one was mainly between Rwanda and DRC. Equally important, there is another deal ongoing that concerns the internal groups of Congo, FC, M23, and the government, and maybe, I don't know where else they will involve, that is being discussed and brokered in and by Qatar, the state of Qatar. You remember the story when I met with President Tshisekedi in Qatar, in Doha, and it originates from there. So these are two sides of really the same coin. So internal matters, so that, and the reason was to avoid the confusion that had been created over years and which nobody was addressing. Congo was always trying to make this problem only a problem between Rwanda and DRC. But there is a bigger component that is DRC's problem, not anything to do with Rwanda. So that's why, in fact, that Qatar effort will look at it broadly between AFC M23 and DRC, in my view, and maybe by extension, because that is the political side now. I said three things: political, economic, and security. So the political is actually mainly internal, so that it doesn't continue to produce these problems that where you deny people their citizenship, or like the other side, you hand over power to somebody and runs with it, and later on, last time we had elections, so-called, but no elections really happened. It was just a continuation of the thing that was handed to the man, and he just keeps running with it. But that's another story. So, and I'm reminded by what you just brought up. As I said, we reached an agreement in Washington, D.C., but it is not up to Washington to implement it. It's those who reach the agreement there to actually be the ones to implement what they agreed. And we have also seen in the whole history of this matter that people really don't necessarily do things according to what they agreed they are going to do. That's a lesson we have learned over many years. So if FDR is not dealt with, and we have set out the way to deal with it in the agreement, then that means the FDR continues to be there, and the problem continues to be there. And Rwanda will always do what it has to do when FDR is along our border. There is no magic wand here to be used by anybody. It's you have just to do what is right to do to deal with the matter. So for us, we have this obligation, and we have laid our case, and out of that, We have agreed to do a number of things to deal with and do it together with others, and we will do that. You will never find Rwanda at fault with implementing what we have agreed to do. You will never. But if the side we are working with plays tricks and takes us back to the problem, then we deal with the problem like we have been dealing with it. There are no two ways about it. But we are serious, we are honest, we look forward to implementing what we agreed to do and to eliminate the problem.
Thank you.
You can blame us for doing whatever we could to make sure FDR doesn't cause Rwanda problems, and whoever was supporting that. But you cannot blame us for the start of this conflict, because everybody knows where this conflict started from and by who, and it is nothing to do with Rwanda. This M23, I have said it before, came from Uganda. They did not come from here. Why was it not made Uganda's problem? Are these things I'm talking about new to you? You don't know them? But the story goes out today, it's every day, Rwanda, M23, Rwanda, yes, but you should also tell people how this became Rwanda's problem. Our problem was simple, twofold. FDLR it has been a problem in the past, it's a problem now, it will be a problem in the future if it continues to exist, threatening Rwanda. Conveniently. You know how the current president came to be president? He was just called to the office, and this man thought he was making a good deal, and they handed him power. Do you also know that actually there were witnesses, heads of state? Did you know that? One of them being the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta. The other one being the president of Egypt, Sisi. The other one being President Ramaphosa of South Africa. You ask to go and visit them and ask them this question. So, this whole thing, you see, no, I wish they could actually come forward and say, hey, wait a minute, by the way, we know this story. the story, and the other thing is, you also know that Rwanda being blamed for M23, FC-M23, Eastern Congo, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Fine. You can blame us for doing whatever we could to make sure FDR doesn't cause Rwanda problems, and whoever was supporting that. But you cannot blame us for the start of this conflict.